We are The Street, the only radio station bringing balance to the nation. 91.9 FM.
We are The Street. The Street. The Street. 919 FM. The only radio station bringing perfect balance between entertainment and talk. Updating you with current affairs and social issues.
So what, we should just sit down and take the foolishness that's being meted out because of all you feel that all you're real bad?
Right? Unlike his situation that I don't even want to go back and bring up and highlight.
You don't have a good record where that is concerned?
Having you in the loop with trends and entertainment. Providing music that lives on.
Darling, I feel the disco.
And spiritual food for the body, mind, and soul.
Set and soul for face. We're not taking that.
The Street. 919 FM. Don't you touch that dial. You're locked on to The Street. 919 FM. We now take you over for spiritual food for the body, mind, and soul.
Peleke. Oku ibona. Bakere olowo eyo. Èṣù ni kórè wá. Ẹlẹ́gbàrà ni kò bí lọ. Peleke ní dára oró sáwò nílé. Èṣù máa ṣe mí. Ọmọ ẹ̀lẹ́ omi. Mi ò ṣe. Èṣù máa ṣe wá. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Peleke. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Nobody can take my joy away. I am born to be happy. Every single wish I supply for me is enough to be jolly. Got no need to be worried, no. Cause life is a blessing, no. My life is a blessing, no. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Asana. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Agenda. Every morning I awake, I give thanks to my Lord. Èṣù lanu he who makes all doors open up for me. Bad energies, no room for you, oh no. All good things I must get through. Ọmọ ẹ̀ ló ìran ní òṣè. Ọ̀la ìlú, èṣù bá ní kọ̀ ọ̀wọ́ ìlú, òró ìlú, ọ̀la ìlú, ọba ẹ̀ bọ̀rà nílẹ̀ kẹ́tù, èṣù ìbẹ́ bọ̀ orúkún, ẹlẹ́gbàrà níbẹ̀ bọ̀ rósà, ẹlẹ́gbàrà níbẹ̀ bọ̀ rókùn rósà, oníbòde. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo. Peleke. Èṣù deo. 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 Baba. Èṣù deo. Èṣù deo.
We were made to serve God, called by many names, through time, space, and language. We were made to give praise to that source of life. We must pay our homage, respecting the earth, the wind and trees, all them rivers and seas, all lives, not just humankind. That's devotion to the divine. But because of different belief systems, each one will say what works for them. So rejoice, give praise, and say amen. Amen. When I give praise, I say Ibashe. As I wake each day a brand new dawn, in spite of the odds I'm moving on. Ibashe, Ibashe. I can't give up, persistence is the key. One day I'll have the victory. Ibashe, Ibashe, Ibashe. So thankful, Ibashe. Ever grateful, Ibashe, Ibashe. Challenges we would face as we seek to climb that ladder of success. Enemies we bound to make with each step of growth. Jealousy walks with progress. But remember who God bless. No man curse, but my people shall face the worst. Go both with faith, goes inside. The darkest shadow has a bright light. Blessings come to the grateful one. Never ever forget where you came from. So rejoice, give praise, say Om Shanti. Om Shanti. When I give praise, I say Ibashe. Hurts and pains of the past, thankful for all. Because of them I'm standing tall. Ibashe, Ibashe. So many times I failed, fell to the ground, but my ancestors kept me strong. Ibashe, Ibashe, Ibashe. Tenacity, Ibashe. Positivity, Ibashe, Ibashe. In this world with each other, for we know not today, the time nor hour, we'll be called over yonder. Let's extend a helping hand to those who need a little push for them to succeed. Kind words can go a longer way. Your blessings you would receive one day. Life is so unpredictable. No one's immune from its pain and struggle. Go ahead, rejoice, say Alhamdulillah. When I give praise, I say Ibashe. Through all the changing scenes of life, in trouble, joy, and in strife, Ibashe, Ibashe. There's more to life than material wealth. True treasure is finding self. Ibashe, Ibashe, Ibashe. Affection, Ibashe. Compassion, Ibashe, Ibashe. Ibashe is a powerful phrase that is used to show respect, praise, and honor. Handed down through ages, a gift to the world by Yoruba ancestors. In good or bad times, ups and downs, say to keep your spirit strong. Don't fight over religion, God is diverse, yet still only one. East and west, north and south, let our voices be heard round about. So rejoice, give praise, say as you wish. We can all you don't. In spite of the odds, we're moving on. We can't give up. Persistence is the key. One day we'll have the victory. Patience, tolerance. Let's give praise. Let's give praise. Let's give praise.
Ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je awale
Greetings, Ekale, pleasant night. This is the Ifa Orisha Way of Life, live on the street 919. We greet everyone in the name of Olodumare, Orishan positive ancestors. We are happy that everyone is here as we go about our session. Before we do anything according to our sacred scripture, we pay homage where homage is due. So I say homage to Olodumare, the creator of the multiverse. I pay homage to our Ori, our inner head, our inner compass, our inner consciousness. I pay homage to one's mother, one's father, because without our parents, we are nothing in this world. I pay homage to our ancestors with whom we stand firmly upon. I pay homage to one's Uluwo, one's Ianifa, one's Ujubona, all spiritual teachers. I pay homage to Barami Agboneregu, Oren Mela, Eleripui, Ibikeji Olodumare, the one who was here with us when we chose our destiny. I pay homage to Akoda, I pay homage to Asheda, the first students of Oren Mela. I pay homage to Baba Eshu, Eshu Odara, Eshu Onibode, Eshu Lalu. I pay homage to Ogun Lakaye Oshimole, Ogun Yemoye. I pay homage to Kabesi Shango, Kabesi Oshango. I pay homage to Orishanla, Epa Orishao. I pay homage to Onile, Mother Earth. I pay homage to Yeye Oya, Epa Oya. I pay homage to Onile. I pay homage to Osain. I pay homage to Abaluwaye, Kabesio. I pay homage to Bogbo Orisha. I pay homage to our Egbe Aye. I pay homage to our Egbe Onru. And as we start this day of the Ifa Orisha Way of Life, we send greetings to all Ilays, all Palays across this land of Trinidad and Tobago, all spiritual homes, all spiritual institutions. We pay homage to our elders across in the entire diaspora as well. And we pray and ask as we start this session that goodness arrives at our doorstep. That healing arrives at our doorstep. That self-actualization comes to our doorstep. We also pray that all evil, all machinations, all sickness that is seeking to ravage our sweet land of Trinidad and Tobago, we pray that the positive energies of the Orisha and the positive ancestors neutralize all forms of negativity in this land and send it away in a place that cannot do us any harm. We pray for healing for those who are in the hospitals at this point in time. Those who see or think that their back is against the wall and the divine energies have forgotten them. I say to you, that person at this time, pray. Get down in prayer. Search yourself and find that comfort and grace and allow healing to take place. Ifa tells us in Erete Obara that we must not self-deceive ourselves. Ifa tells us to accept truth. Accept changes, positive changes that may come knocking on the doorstep of one's life. Changes that would help in growth. Changes that would assist in elevation and development. Ifa tells a person that in order to move forward, that inner reflection must take place in order to accept the changes that needs to be made in order to walk through that door of success. So we ask all these wonderful things in no other name but Olodumare's most sacred and bountiful name. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. This is the Ifa Risha way of life, and my brother Alatumishe MC Duke, he's across in New York at this point in time. I send greetings to him. Asheo, Asheo. On this day, Ifa tells us in Obara Ogunda that in order for a person, and when we bring forth these messages of Ifa, it's always a self-reflective moment as well. Ifa tells us in Obara Ogunda that in order for a person to grow, that person must have an ear, a listening ear. In order for a person to grow and make themselves teachable, a person must not be stubborn. And this was the revelation of Ifa to the fishers, who was going to the house of Olokun for a celebration. But the fishers were advised, hear what? Before you go on that particular journey to the house of Olokun, you should consult Ifa and do the appropriate sacrifice. But the fish thought, am I not good enough to swim? Do I not have the competence of knowledge of how to navigate myself through the sea passage? And the fish at that time refused to offer the sacrifice, which was a V-like shaped branch. But there was another fish who heard the injunction of Ifa and decided, hear what? I don't have nothing to lose. And the fish thought that, you see me, in this life, it's always good at times to pay heed and take attention to the advice of elders. And this Ifa is always telling us as well, let us not be stubborn. So the fish went in front. The school of fish had went in front, but they did not offer the sacrifice. And they were caught in the fish net. All of them were caught. But this particular species of fish that had listened to the injunction of Ifa was able to overcome, because at the time when that fish was passing, he had put the V-like tree branch over his head, and he was able to escape the captivity of man. This Ifa is telling us today, and especially young people, let us pay attention to when elders speak to us. Let us not think of ourselves as bigger than our elder, because we think that we have studied more than our elders. This Ifa is telling us we must be humble in order to see the message, and we must not be arrogant, because an arrogant person always ends up in trouble. An arrogant, ill-mannered person is the one whom is often carted away when trouble comes. Obara Ogunda tells us we must listen. In local parlance, we would say, you mustn't be hardened. And this is what would take us forward. To listen in order to grow. Listen. A person might think that they are the same age as their parents. No, I wouldn't say same age. But they're making more money than their parents. So now they don't have to listen to their parents. But as Iwer Mechi tells us, a young person might be able to move faster than the elder, but the elder knows the road and the elder knows how to navigate on the pathway. So when an elder comes and they give you advice, sometimes you have to humble yourself. As we would also say in local parlance as well, govern yourself down. You have to govern down and take the advice. Because many times we are forewarned through the divine message of Olodumare that often comes through our parents, our elders, and those who are around us before an eventuality takes place. But many times do we listen? Or sometimes our Ori, our inner consciousness is speaking to us. But sometimes we override our better judgment and we go about and do what is not good for us. And these are the things that have been taking place through the passage of time. That's why Ifa, which is encompassed in 256 Udu, revelations, the experiences of what mankind had went through from beginning till this very time here and even beyond. So that's why Ifa tells us that, even to paraphrase, it's always good to listen. Sometimes a person is quick to talk before an elder speaks. They're quick to talk. You're quick to cut across. You're quick to butt in. You're quick to say, I know. I know. As we say, Upper Rima, there's a type of people called the I know people. The people who always know. But Ifa tells us that we have to stop practice self-deceit. Let us not deceive ourselves. Sometimes what you want to hear is not what is really the reality of a situation. But you're going down. You're going down. Pride, arrogancy. And that is what will not take us forward in grace. Because instead of moving forward in grace, you'll be bumping here and there, hiccups here and there, because one, the failure to accept truth is what causes a person's demise. And as we said in Ifa, the failure to accept truth is what leads to a person's demise. Any society which is devoid of accepting truth is doomed to be held in captivity. And even though Ifa speaks through spiritual, religious scripture, even where we sit in this particular space and time within our country, we need to accept truth. And the truth is what would set our country, our people, on that road to growth, development, liberation, success. Because there are many things around us that we are being untruthful about. There are many things that we have failed to address in this time in a truthful manner. If we don't address things in a truthful manner within ourselves first, how we think our homes would run. If our homes is not running truth, how we think that our communities will run, our government will run, our nation will run. And that's why Ifa says in Ejiobe, that truth, the people who are truthful on this sphere of earth number less than 20. And the wicked ones therein, they are so many. They number more than 140 million. Cast divination for Oren Miller. On the day he was saddened by the amount of ill things that had been taken place on earth. When he consulted Ifa said, let's do things with honesty. Offer your sacrifice and do things in honesty. And again, if we are not honest within ourselves, our family will go astray. Our community will go astray. Our nation will go astray. Even in our homes, let us address things when we see it. Let us not see ill things going on in our homes and laugh and say it is cute at a young age when we are seeing things in the initial stage within our children. From the time a pencil come home and you don't know how that pencil reaches in your child bag, address it. Address things as we see it. And let us not practice self-deceit. From the time you see something your child bring home that you know you did not buy, find out where it come from. Let us fix our community. Let us fix our home. Get to know the company a child is keeping. Discipline yourself. Make yourself active in your child life. Don't let the phone, the iPad and these things socialize your child before you even get a good chance to bring forth your values in your child. Don't think if you're saying the truth in your home that your child would not like you. If you're looking for like right now and you don't address things now, don't expect when at a later age, when you have to enforce the truth, the child would like you then as well. The truth is a hard pill to swallow, but we have to live in truth. Even in our community, as a graduation out of our home, let us put aside internal rancor, public rancor, public spats, and bring our community back together. If you see a child going down a road and you could offer a word, offer a word. Use wisdom and offer a word. Because these are the things that would take us closer to Olodumare. Because we are on this earth and we are interdependent on each and every one for our success in fulfilling our destiny. Sometimes you may be in place to stop someone from making a poor judgment. And you turn your back and say, see that? That's not my high gun. And what you turn a blind eye to is what come and affect you down the road. If I say let us not practice self-deceit. Even in our country, when we look at what is out there of the situation that our children have to take up when they reach to an adult age, this is something we must be very, very concerned about. Even within our education system, let us acknowledge truth. The truth that is there to establish solid human beings in this country. Let us start to acknowledge our true heroes of this land. And when we say acknowledge the true heroes of this land, the people who stood up for something in this land. Uriah Buzz Butler, Makandal Daga, Kwame Ture, Kafra Kambon, Rex LaSalle, Mansa Musa, Beverly Jones, Carl Blackwood. People who stood for something in this land, who changed the course and the dynamics of our country's history. Let us acknowledge these people and put them on the pedestal of being called a national hero. Because these are the people who put their lives on the line, who put their comfort on the line in a time when our country was not going down in the way that it was supposed to go down. Let us truthfully accept the people whose backs and who put in the sweat, the blood and the tears for a better future that we are enjoying at this point in time. Let us be truthful and acknowledge that in order for a people to grow, a people must know their true history and their rich history. Let us be truthful to accept that if we are teaching our children history in school, we cannot start off our children by telling them that one, they are predominantly the descendants of slaves. That is being untruthful. Because at the same time, let us not give history in the way we want to give it, in a halfway styling that diminishes the cultural, the spiritual, and the essence of history that is there to aid in the growth and development of the children in this land of Trinidad and Tobago. Let us be truthful in the way we do things. And this is a call for even those in the sector of education. And this is a call for even those in the sector of education to address things in truth. Address things in truth. So that in itself would be our guide in changing the course of how things currently are right now. Because when we look around and we see people in a state of fear, people afraid to go in the grocery, people afraid to leave their homes, it tells us that things are not going right. Why must we reserve ourselves and say that, here what? the way things going is a sign of the times. If you stand up and you defeat yourself and say that, what's happening? What going on right now is just signs of the time. And then we are not making efforts to really fulfill the grace and the truth of Olodumare. We have to stand up. Whatever circle you are in, give your children truth. Starts in the home, give your children truth. In the community, give your children truth. Those who are in public administration, give the people truth. Because remember, according to Iwer, Shere, if we throw the ashes of wickedness out there, the ashes of wickedness would blow back and consume us. But if we throw the ashes of grace and truth, the ashes of grace and truth would be our portion. And in simple terms of life, what you put in is what you will get out. And these are the things that would take us forward in this land of Trinidad and Tobago and out of the quagmire of frustration, fear, and sadness. This is our land. This is the place that our Creator Olodumare have placed us. And this is where we have to express our spirituality. It's a way of life that entails a person becoming self-actualized. Wherever you are, whatever family a person is born into, we have to ensure that those who are coming up within our circle and those around us, we have to give them the food to make them self-actualize. So if you are a father in a home, and what you giving your child or your son or your daughter is an image of a man sagging his pants 24/7, what you think that young man or that young woman will do? They will grow up to sag their pants too. If you grow up conning people, more than likely your child will grow up to con people too. If you grow up a child in an environment that is blatantly toxic, then you are raising a toxic person too. That is why Ifa tells us in many Odu that being a parent, it is sacred, sacred, sacred to Olodumare. And not only being a parent, because even an aunt and an uncle is a parent, because they as well have that road to impart knowledge and grace unto a child. And people might say, sometimes I ain't choose to be a role model, but everyone looks up at someone. And it's our action and inaction that children looks at in order to create a road for them to walk down the road. That's why we often say on the Ifa Orisha way of life, it's a life within a life. And when we say it's a life within a life, our lives are interconnected. Our lives are interconnected within humanity and within nature. And to bring it back to this land of Trinidad and Tobago, our lives as well is connected within everything in Trinidad and Tobago. So it's incumbent on us to preserve what we have in this land of Trinidad and Tobago. And even now, just the other day, in fact yesterday, I saw a picture on Facebook with persons had killed some kobo, or what we would say of Altia, or in Yoruba language, Ibu Kole. And I would say it on national radio. It is taboo to kill these birds. These are sacred, sacred birds. And when we do these things, we are interfering with sacred spiritual law, sacred spiritual taboo. So to be forewarned, it is to be forearmed. Let us respect nature. Let us stop practice arrogance and say, I'm human. I could do whatever I want to nature. We all depend on nature to survive. Natural law, spiritual law must be respected. Let us not interrupt Mother Nature for our own selfish gain. That is only spelling and creating curse to oneself. And these things are real. So to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Let us not practice killing animals without a just cause. Let us stop do these things. Let's be truthful in all things. Aburu, aboye, aboshishe.
Kubani wale wale je. Awale wale kubani wale wale je. Oshun wale wale kubani wale wale je. Awale wale kubani wale wale je. Oshun wale wale kubani wale wale je. Awale wale kubani wale wale je. Oshun wale wale kubani wale wale je. Awale wale kubani wale wale je. Oshun wale wale kubani wale wale je. Awale wale kubani wale wale je. Oshun wale wale kubani wale wale je. Awale wale 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 kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
Wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wale kubani wale wale je ocean wale wale kubani wale wale je
wale wa egungu ibao wale o nation shall rise again. Wolewa. I must stay focused to fulfill my purpose, and I will conquer all. Ancestors, Wolewa, descend and make our rituals a success. Hear us. Wolewa, eh. Wolewa, hear me. Wolewa, Egungun Wolewa.
Aburua Boya Boshishe. Welcome back to the Ifarisha Way of Life. And the sound we were just hearing in the background, it is Empress Ajay. And on the 13th of May, Saturday 13th of May, she would be having Iba, the third edition of Iba. And Iba is the Yoruba word that means to give reverence or praise. And this is the third edition of the Iba concert, and it will be held at the Naparima Bowl Amphitheater. The tickets are $200 and it's available at Cache, Gulf City, Sion's Bar in San Fernando, Peeville Radio Station at Pleasantville Plaza, and online at islandtickets.com event Iba 3. And it's also available at the Naprima box office. If one is interested, one can contact 482-3111. That is 482-3111. And also on that day of the Saturday, 13th of May, she will be giving away a prize to the best dressed mom, and it's a trip for two to Grenada. So all mothers come out dressed to impress and win 2 tickets to Grenada, compliment by Iya Ajay. So we give thanks, and we are asking everyone to come out in your droves, come out and support Empress Ajay in hosting Iba 3. Ashe? Asheo. So we give thanks.
Wolewa. Wolewa Egungun. Ibao. Woleo.
So we are back again, live on the street 919. Ifa Orisha Way of Life. And before we had went on our little break, we were speaking about maintaining truth within ourselves in building our nation. We had spoken about building truth within ourselves in maintaining goodness in our nation. And we had touched on, for a person, ensuring that they are in alignment and in balance, and in a state of balance with nature that would assist them to spiritually grow. And that is accepting truth. Because if we live a life thinking that we are here to just dominate everything, consume everything, and leave whatever is left in shambles, then a person is not walking on the road of spirituality. It is because we see ourselves as having a life within nature. That is why Ifa Orisha devotees, we cherish the goodness and the essence of nature in all things. The way we live, the way we connect with nature, it is dear as a form of reverence and respect that transcends from us showing our Creator that we are grateful. We are grateful for the Creator's grace in allowing us to express ourselves here on Ileaye. And that is why, even outside of the realm of nature, we give our ancestors that respect. We give those who had trod on this road before us that respect. And that is why, even as we engage in teaching, it is the awareness of giving homage to those before us that would allow us to overcome a lot of challenges. If a person doesn't understand their past, in fact, understand their heritage, how could a person move forward? How would you know that there are certain things within your family lineage that needs correcting, that needs rectifying? That's why Ifa tells us in Irete Osa, in Osa Rete, that we need to give our ancestors the homage, the praise, the understanding. Because even though we may see our ancestors as not being here in the physical plane, they are still very much connected to us in the spiritual plane. There are certain challenges that our country is going through at this point in time. And as an adherent of Ifa Orisha way of life, Ifa tells us that we have plenty cleaning up to do, according to Otura Meiji, in reversing the cycle of curse that is taking place in this country at this point in time. When the blood of our sons and daughters are being shed without a cause at the hands of people who don't see another human being as worthy to be allowed the chance to fulfill their destiny, what you think would befall you or befall the manner of injustice that had taken place at that space and time? When murders are ubiquitous and the rate of detection is under 5%, what we think would be happening to the energy, the spirit, the Emmy, the soul of that person, that didn't fulfill their destiny and they had been murdered at the hands of human being. Because Ifa tells us in different verses that when a person dies an honorable death, heaven or Rune rejoices. But when a person is murdered, killed, before they are able to express and bring out the goodness and the fruitfulness that had been blessed upon them before they left Orun to Aye. When you think you cut short that, what you think would befall that community or land? What you think would happen? So if we want things to go good in our country, we have to examine these particular things in truth. We have to examine these things in truth. And when we say examine these things in truth, understand that spiritual intervention is greatly needed in order to move forward. We don't have any time again to fight amongst ourselves as a people and look down on any other group's way of life. Because as an adherent of Ifa, it is incumbent on me to give respect where respect is due. And even though a person may not be practicing something that is different to what I practice, I have to give that person respect. Let us put away turf wars, religious wars in this land of Trinidad and Tobago. Let us go back to the days when communities used to come together and have sports, have road sports, village sports, and all of these things. Let us put away the mindset that in order to show dominance, we have to kill a brother. Let us show dominance in getting knowledge. And even when we get knowledge, we still have to be humble with it. Because it's about making this space a better place than we met it. And that is the teaching of Ifa to humanity. Leaving this world in a better place than we met it. Because as we know and as our elders would always say, none of us come here to turn stone. So we are here to leave this space and place in a better state than we met it. Nobody is here to turn stone. And as we know, nobody is better than anyone. We are just different. And it's our uniqueness according to H. Yogbe, that radiates the beauty of Olodumare. How could we think that Olodumare would have made all of us to function in the same way? If we take a look at nature, millions of species, some even unknown to humankind, but the function of those species is showing the beauty of Olodumare. So you as a person, if you don't see the beauty in yourself, you wouldn't see the beauty in others. You'll just be wandering around, living a life that you of your own self would be uncomfortable. And that uncomfortableness would allow you to be so distracted out of what you are supposed to do. And that would eventually bring you to your own demise. That is why we always say knowledge is what will build a person in order to walk their true spiritual path. Knowledge. That's why Ifa says in Odi Meji, let us sit amongst the wise and have conversations with the wise to move forward. Let us not waste time as spiritual people, as spiritual children. Let us not waste time. As we know, in Ifa there are 256 different Udu, from Ejiogbe to Ofunche. The first 16 Udu. Let us take time to learn an Udu a day. Read a particular Udu a day. Spend time. Read about Ejiogbe. Read about Oyeku Meji. Read about Iwori Meji. Read about Odi Meji. Read about Irosun. Read about Owonwori. Read about Obara. Read about Akaran. Read about Ogunda. Read about Osa. Read about Ika. Read about Oturapon. Read about Otura. Read about Erete. Read about Oshe. Read about Ofun, Epa, Udu. Read about the Udu. Read. Take time and read. And the more a person reads, the more a person would develop themselves. And when you develop yourself in spirituality, you of your own self will feel a difference. You'll feel different within yourself. And when you feel a difference within yourself, that is when you would know that you are growing. Because growth is the only thing constant is growth. From the time you're born to the time of your appointed occasion to go back, you will be growing. And the saddest thing is for a person to become stagnated and not finding their purpose. That's why we say, find your purpose, live your purpose, and fulfill one's purpose. Because nobody is here without a blueprint. Nobody is here without a mission. And the more you take time, wasting time, that is less time you have in completing your mission. Because we have to grow. We have to grow. We have to lift our community. We have to lift ourselves. We have to raise our heads. In your spiritual practice, let us not be ashamed to stand up and pray. Lift your head. Be proud and pray where you have to pray. Offer a word. Offer libation. Because these are the things that will help to neutralize problems when they occur. Because Ifa never lets down a person. If you make yourself ashamed of Ifa, you think the grace of Olodumare would meet you? If you turn your back on the Creator and you say, see me, I am going to do my own thing, how you think your life would end up? Sometimes a person may be happy for a point in time, but all of us with that connection of Olodumare, of God in us, of the Creator in us, when something happens, the first thing you call out is God. In fact, God and your mother's name. Because Ifa tells us that we are connected to Olodumare. That is why when something is about to happen to a person, it's either your left eye jump or you feel a vibration in your dream. You see something in your dream. And when you get warning, it is incumbent on you to act on it. And when you act on it, it is when things would go well with you. Aburu, Aboye, Aboshish.
Persecution, horrors, when they try to oppress me, humiliate and stop me, I pour libation and send my supplication into the spirit realm. Never will they let me down, They see my tears, they feel my pain. With patience I'll rise again, I must stay focused to fulfill my purpose, and I will conquer all. Ancestors, rituals or something. Hear us. Come to our aid. Hear me.
Monday, Rumai Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Baba Timonde, Rumaya. Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Baba Timonde, Rumaya. Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Baba Timonde, Rumaya. Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Baba Timonde, Rumaya. Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Baba Timonde, Rumaya. Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Jaja. Erinla, Erinla. Jaja. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Baba Timonde, Rumaya. Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Baba Timonde, Rumaya. Baba Timonde, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla. Erinla, Erinla, oh. Erinla, Erinla.
Greetings again, Ifarisha way of life, and we give praise for this time again to be able to bring forth wonderful messages for our growth and our development. Asheo. In the background as well, we have the sweet sounds of our Queen Mother, Iya Ella Andal. We send out blessings of love to her. Asheo. And in moving forward as a people, Ifa always advises us that in order for us to keep on, on the path of healthy spiritual growth, we must not hold grudges. Ifa says that holding on to grudges is what keeps a person from maintaining that ori in being in alignment. So when we are not willing to let go of things, it clouds our good judgment. If you're going down the road of life and you are not willing to let go of certain grudges or certain things that had happened to you in life, these things would affect you down the road. That's why Ifa tells us in Ogbe Iwuri that holding on to grudges, it comes as if it's a poison to a person's ori. Because you would be holding on to something and not letting it go. And that in itself would cause you to always be in a state of distress. Always be in a state of uncomfortableness. And this is the type of healing that our country needs in order to move forward. Sometimes you may speak to someone and it's always what this one do me, what that one do me. You understand? But Ifa is telling us certain things we have to let it go and let the Orishan positive ancestors deal with it. If a person is praying day and night and is praying for relief, let us offer our prayer And just do what you have to do and let it go. And that is putting your faith and your confidence and trust in the divine to make things work for you. It comes as if a person comes to offer a sacrifice. And they're watching, the items as if it wouldn't have a meaningful impact on one's life. So you may go for a consultation. And the Babalawo or the Ianifa or the Awo, they may say, here what? Based on the Udu, if I said a cock, a hen, a piece of red cloth, and pray. And you would have to go and procure these items. And when you go and you bring these items, you watching at these items with self-doubt, with a lot of doubt. What this prescription that Ifa gave me would do, and you of your own self at that point in time defeat the purpose of the offering. Ifa says, when we make an offering, let us make our offering with joyfulness and faith. By the moment you stand there and you stand in doubt, you have allowed the enemy to consume you. That is why, as devotees, we sing according to Oshe Otura. We open our mouths, we sing, we channel the energy for the positive energies to come. We channel it through singing, through drums, through chanting, through oriki. We channel the energy through songs of praise. And when we are at a place where the energy has been built, we make our offering in truth and in spirit. And these are the simple things that allow a person, ebo or offering, to be accepted. You cannot do anything halfway in life and expect to get a good and positive result. If you deal with the divine energies and the ancestors halfway, how you think what you are asking for would work out? Just as in everything, it is the effort you put in that is what you would get back. Some people think that problems could magically disappear. But if you don't put in the work to make your problems go away, what do you think would happen? That's why Ifa tells us in Ika Ofun, let us not call red black or call black red. Let us be truthful in the way we address things. And one of the greatest sacrifice a person could make in order to turn around one's life is to sacrifice the ill things within one's character. Because when a person sacrifices the ill things within their character, these are the things that allow blessings to come to the home of a devotee. These are the things that would allow blessings to come to the home of a devotee. So even as we take it out of the home and we take it out into our nation, once we are not dealing with things with the proper attitude and the proper energy to change things in our community, then we are only deceiving ourselves. We're speaking about crime. We're speaking about lawlessness. We're speaking about lack of respect. We're speaking about corruption and all kinds of underhand things. But if we are not truthful about seeking to address things, then we'll be spinning top in mud over and over and over again. And this is a call for people to become more spiritual in the way you see things and you do things. You do things with the respect of Olodumare, with the respect of God. You do things with that respect. But for a person who is practicing traditional spiritual doctrine as Ifa Orisha, the key that you have is that you are able to see, to foresee, or to forecast an issue before it happens. You are able to forecast, to foresee an issue before it happens. A lot of people don't understand their dreams. But your dream is your spiritual compass as well. That spiritual transmission from the spiritual world that would assist you to navigate out of challenges. So the more people pay attention to their spiritual hygiene, which is your spiritual life, is the better our society would be. As we know, the weeds and the thorns grow together. And that is life. But we live every day as an example that we are to understand where we are. We are to understand where we are. Understand those around us. Understand our function in where we are around people. Understand our function in the homes as having family. Understand our function in order to move forward. And as we always emphasize on moving forward, these are the things that again would bring us comfort. And all of us are seeking that level of comfort. All of us are seeking that level of knowing that we are not in harm's way. And when we have that comfort, it is when we would not be running around helter-skelter. So as adherents of our sacred and beautiful and sacred, beautiful, wonderful way of life, every day is another day for us to get better. Every day is another day for us to get better. As we are this way now, tomorrow, let us upgrade. Let us elevate ourselves so that is the avenue of teaching. That is the avenue of healing. Let us not be consumed in the idleness and the trivial things of this world. Let us open up our spiritual eyes to what would bring about our healing. Let us seek to use traditional medicines to heal ourselves. As we know, our food is our medicine. Let us eat the good food that would allow us to live long. Our elders used to eat obiseed or rugbo on a regular, and this allowed them to live long. Let us bring about healing to ourselves. Let us research the proper uses of our herbs and ingest it and clean out all these toxins that are in the fast foods that we ingest on a regular. Let us not allow our lives to get out of hand, out of our hands, and depend on the fast life to survive. Because as we know, hurry birds don't build good nests. So if we are living life fast, our lives would not be good. If you are living life fast and you're not taking time to take care of this, of your body, things wouldn't go well for you. That is why Ifa tells us in Ogbe Yunu, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself so that you would have the strength to do what you need to do. Don't run down yourself in the prime of your life and say, well, when I retire, I would enjoy my life. Live your life in balance. And when we live our lives in balance, that is when our later years will be graceful and peaceful. If we have young ones now in our young years, and we don't take our time to channel them in the right direction, in our later years, we will have problems. And this is the truth of Ifa that tells us that let us not practice self-deceit. Let us not practice self-deceit. Let us be truthful in the way we do things in order to move forward in grace. And that grace is bringing us to that place of spiritual growth. Aburu, Aboye, Aboshishe.
Yahweh,
aboye, aboshishe. Ifa tells us in Osautura, what is truth? Truth is the unfailing wisdom of Olodumare that is there to guide this world, that is there to guide everything in the way that it is supposed to go. As we know, this world has been created with the knowledge and the wisdom of the divine. And sometimes we as human beings may think that we even have more knowledge than Olodumare or have more knowledge than Orunmila. So we oftentimes want to do our own thing that does not allow us to reach far. And as we had started the program, we spoke about being teachable, being able to listen to the divine teaching, listen, able to accept and access information that is there to build a person. And as we close this session of the Ifa Orisha Way of Life, just a quick recap. Let us be change that is needed to bring forth a difference in our community. Let us go forth with the knowledge of Ifa, with the strength of our Ori, with the guidance of Eshu, with the path made open by Ogun, with the sweetness of Ye Oshun, the justice of Kabesi Shango, the support of Onile, Mother Earth, the support of Bogbo Orisha, to do what we need to do to change around our country. This country is ours, our sweet land of Trinidad and Tobago. We must not allow it to be hijacked. Let us do what we need to do. And it first starts with us, building our nation, changing things, being knowledgeable about things, taking action when we need to take action, both physically and both spiritually. And these are the things that would allow us to go forward and move forward in grace. So we give thanks, and again I touch base with my brother Alatumishe, and I continue to wish him all the best out there in New York, and I pray that he comes back to us here safely. Before we go as well, just remember that IBA 3 is on Saturday 13th of May, before Mother's Day. The tickets are only $200. IBA 3. IBA 3. Let us go out and support Iya Ajay, formerly Warrior Empress. Let us support her and ensure that we receive, the divine blessing of our mothers. Aburu, Aboye, Aboshishe.
Time to ease yourself from the struggle. Time to ease yourself from the stress. For so long we fight in this battle, and yet we life in a mess. All where we turn now is drug abuse. So much young girls in prostitution. Tell me, what is your expectation for the upcoming generation? We blame it on world leaders. Them is the first we don't see to blame. And yet still we living in poverty, and we lifestyle, it is a shame. But this man does feel that he dread, and this one does feel that he dread. But you could never know who is the dreadest man till you hear that one of them dead. A clean heart and a clear conscience is what